2020 is almost over. And before we let it slip by, kick it to the ground and say adios, we should probably talk about one very important fact. And if we don't talk about it, we are headed down a very, very, very dark road. I'm not talking about the Joe Biden manufactured dark winter. I am talking about a very scary place. So, this video is important. It is really important. It's important because I want to draw for you a parallel between the United States of America and the Chinese Communist Party. Please listen to me. Get through this video all the way because I want to arm you with information to beware of, especially for you that are Christians. If you are not Christians, you're still going to want to be interested in this because your very freedom is completely at risk. So, what do we have in common with the Chinese Communist Party? Unfortunately, as the days go by, we are having more and more and more in common with them. Perhaps I should answer this question by analyzing what dictators do when they want the people to be ruled over and no longer have a voice. Well, the first thing that they do is they attack their ability to earn an income. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they attack their ability to earn an income. They shut down businesses. They make it to where it is comfortable to receive money from the government than it is to actually work, and that is particularly dangerous. By the way, we have been watching this happen, especially with the help of our very tyrannical governors. We are seeking to make it more comfortable for people not to work than to actually work. Now, why is that such a dangerous thing? Go back to the biblical model of why we work. The reason why we work is because any work you do, if it's honest, is honorable. It brings dignity to a person. If I take work away from a person, I take that sense of worth away from them. I take their dignity away from them. I take their sense of ownership away from them. I completely tear down whatever exists in them that makes them want to take pride in the possessions that they've worked so hard for. I even destroy the welfare system. If you look back at the Bible and you read about how the welfare system worked in the Bible, I'm going to be as brief as I can with this, but the way the welfare system worked is if you were a farmer and you owned a farm, your whole responsibility at the time that you were supposed to go and collect all of your crop, when it was harvest time, was to leave the outside edges alone. As you left the outside edges alone, the reason why you did that is because those people who had no money, those people who did not own a farm, those people who could not meet the requirement necessary to be able to feed their family would be able to still have a way to be able to do all of that. But the only way they could do it is they went out into the field, your field, to the outside of your field, and plucked all of that crop. And a couple of things would happen. Number one, they would maintain the dignity of being able to say they did it with their own hands and they worked hard, blood, sweat, and tears, just like your blood, sweat, and tears, to be able to bring something home for their family. They hand down from generation to generation the pride of ownership, the responsibility and dignity of work, and the desire to want to continue to do so to make a better life for a family. If you take that away from them by handing them government money, you take away all sense of dignity, pride, and everything else that goes with honorable work, including the desire to actually own property. What does it matter? Let the government own it. They give us what we want. It doesn't work. It takes dignity away from each and every human being that desires to work, which most of us do. And it completely rips apart any way of thinking that associates itself with freedom. Perhaps the number one thing that I would do if I was a dictator is I would take away the ability for the church to worship God. Let's take a look at our tyrannical governor in the state of California who is actively doing that. There are enough pastors that are out there that are bold enough to keep their churches open. And when I say enough, I mean 15%. That's really horrible. We need a lot more guys to open up their churches. But there are enough guys out there that are defying the tyranny of these governors by doing what they're doing, that the governor now is looking for another option to destroy the purpose of the gathering of the church. You see, the purpose of the church gathering not only is the worship of the Lord, but it is to encourage one another to stand strong in godly things. We look at one another's faces, we encourage one another, we pray for one another, we wipe tears off of each other's faces, we hold each other sometimes, hug them, lay hands on them. This is the work and the responsibility of the church. We break bread together. Well, if I can't get the church to stop gathering, then maybe I'll modify the way the church worships. How about this? How about they start worshiping the church outside and keep a distance from one another where they can't make a personal connection? Might as well go back to watching everything online. Or how about this? How about you put a mask on and you don't worship God at all? You simply stop singing. You just be quiet. Don't sing. You're not allowed to sing. You can come into church, but you're not allowed to sing. Let me just simply say this. If you feel the need to wear a mask, I have nothing against you. I don't think there's anything wrong with you. God bless you. You're a warrior for just showing up to church. May God richly bless you for it. But to require every single person to wear one, what you are doing is you are taking away from their ability to personally relate to one another. All you see are eyes shifting. You have no context for how the eyes are shifting because you don't see the facial expression. What ends up happening is you dehumanize everybody. So you might still gather in a room, but nobody is a human to anybody else. There's no smiling, there's no happiness, there's no sadness. There's no way to really truly relate to people because of what this mandate has required. It's insanity. It's insanity. And folks, if we as Americans let it continue to happen too much further, can I promise you, can I make you this promise? I promise you, we are going to allow the disgusting and destructive force of communism to come in and to take away every last thing held precious to us. It is time to fight back. It is time to not allow these tyrannical governors to do the things that they are doing. Here in California, there's a move to recall Gavin Newsom. Every single one of you ought to be signing those petitions. He does not deserve to have the distinction of governor of the state of California. You should be doing the same thing with Cuomo and every other one of these tyrannical governors who choose to want to destroy the ability for people to worship God as God has prescribed. And I would sincerely hope that big media would not ban this video because I'm talking about the freedom to worship. Because before you know it, they themselves will lose their freedoms if they continue down the path that they're going. This is getting crazy, and ladies and gentlemen, we need to take a stand. How do we take a stand? Gather together, fellowship, go to church. Open your businesses. For those of you that are closed, don't be scared of the government. Open your businesses. And for those of us that are watching these people fight for their lives and opening their businesses, we need to support those businesses. Anything we can. Let's fight this good fight because the result is worth it. God bless you guys.